All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to a special edition of the MMAOB Daily Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Adam Martin, joined by my co-host here, Monday and Tuesdays here on MMAOB Daily Podcast, Mr. Big Marcel. Marcel, it's Monday morning here, 9 a.m. For me, it's Victoria Day. It's a holiday. I'm off my normal job, but I want to do a short podcast with you today just to talk about some UFC news, fight announcements, everything like that. So first off, man, how's it going?
All good, man. Yeah, it's actually the Tuesday episode on Monday, right? So
I know it's a little different this week. So thanks for bearing with us, everyone. Obviously, it's a little different week for me because I have to go on a trip. I'm leaving tomorrow morning, Marcel. So, like I was telling him, I got to take my travel COVID test in an hour. I don't know how I've gone through this long without even getting tested for this thing. Like 2.5 years, Marcel, I never had the test done. It's pretty crazy, actually. But just, I don't know. I just haven't had to have it done. So first time for everything, I guess. You were telling me off air, this thing hurts, right? Or it doesn't hurt. It's just annoying, right?
It's really annoying. Yeah, it doesn't hurt, but it's just annoying.
Yeah, no, I believe you. So not really looking forward to that, but I'm just crossing my fingers I test negative. I mean, I don't see why I wouldn't, but you never know, right? Like, you never know. That would really suck. Imagine that I test positive and then I can't go on my trip. That would really suck. That would really suck. Anyways, we're going to hype in the chat. What's up? Ryan, what's up, man? Yeah, I appreciate you joining us, man. I'm usually at work right now. I start at 9, but I'm off today because of a holiday. So we're just going to do a short podcast here today. We'll just go over to the news and fight announcements like I was saying, Marcel. If there's anything else you guys want to talk about, we'll be happy to talk about pretty much everything and anything, Marcel, like that people want to ask. But I figure that a good thing to start with is just go through some new fights and stuff like that, Marcel. If that sounds good with you, maybe pull up your Instagram and go through some fights. What do you think about that, man? Sounds good?
Yeah, perfect, man. Perfect.
All right, let's do it. I'm going to pull it up right now. All right, cool. So we'll just go through some fights because they announced the full UFC 277 card. You know what? We'll start with that, Marcel. I'm going to start with UFC 277 just because they announced it and we didn't really get a chance to talk about it. So I'll just pull up UFC stats because it has, I think, got all the fights on it. Yeah, he's asking if Max and Volk is confirmed. Yeah, it is. It's for UFC 276. Right, Marcel? That's confirmed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, cool. So let's just go through this card here. So this is the new one that was announced, guys. If you guys can see that, let me pull it up a little bit better. There we go. I think that's a little better, right? Yeah. So this is UFC 277. This was announced on Saturday, I believe, right, Marcel? This was the new card announced. Dallas, Texas, July 30th.
Yeah.
Well, if I bought a ticket, I mean, I could see why people wouldn't be too thrilled with the main event. But, I mean, it's still a quality fight. Julianna, Pena, Manny Nunes, too. Like, the first fight was one of the biggest upsets in UFC history. They're two of the best women fighters in the world. I don't really have a problem with it as a main event, but I know a lot of people are not too thrilled with it. What are your thoughts on that, man?
To be really honest, man, yeah, it's a rematch. It's a rematch that should happen, but I'm also not really thrilled, to be really honest.
Right.
I don't know, man. Nunes did look off in that last fight, man. And I really feel like, and maybe I'm wrong and people are going to be upset about it, I feel like she's more focusing on being a mom than being a fighter right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's where you see on almost every shot from her, you see her with a kid and with Nina, with the kid and with Nina. I understand she's happy, you know, but I think it's also a distraction. I feel that for her. For many people, it's also like they get extra motivation out of it.
I mean, that's what it is for me, myself. I mean, I honestly, man, like when I found out I was going to have a kid, like I can't speak for anyone else, but I know like when I found out, which was November 2020, when I found out my fiance was pregnant, she was my girlfriend at the time. Like, I remember thinking to myself, there was a day I woke up, Marcel, like a week after, and I was like, yo, like you got to really bust your ass from now on. Like I thought I worked hard before that, but like since then, Marcel, it's like all you think about your kids. So like I know what you're saying, man.
You know what it is, but you're a guy. You know what I mean? And she's like a woman. I think it's a difference, you know. I think that's just, listen, man, I'm not a dad, so maybe I shouldn't talk about it. But I feel like if you have your kid around when you're at work, you know what I mean?
Dude, I do though. Like I work from home. My kid's in my room like half the time. You know what I mean?
So I know, but
I know what you're saying. I know you're saying.
Fighting, you know.
Yeah, I know. It's a different sport. Like I feel like Nina's the one who takes care. I think Nina's the one that gave birth to the child, right? If I'm not mistaken. So I feel like she's like more of the caregiver, it seems like. But I mean, maybe they share that responsibility. So I get what you're saying. Like, to be fair, like I'm around a lot of time, but Anita's the one who takes care of the kid like a lot of the time, you know, because I am working most of the time, right? So I get what you're saying, Marcel. I get what you're saying. I don't know if I'd call it a distraction though. You know what I mean? Like it's your family, you know. But you're right. I mean, I just look at the last fight. She looked so bad in that fight, Marcel. Like what happened? Do you think maybe it had something to do with her having COVID? Because I've never seen her gas out like that before.
It was weird as fuck, dude. I remember the first round. At a certain moment, Pena was trying to get her down or something, and she was laughing to the side, like, "Oh, she tried to get me down or whatever." I don't know. It was really weird. I also had the feeling like she highly underestimated Pena. I feel like, you know. But on the other hand, I don't know, man. I mean, Nunes looked so off that night, and normally you were like, she is like one of the best women ever, you know, in the sport, you know. So to disregard her in the second fight is maybe crazy, but it really looked bad, dude, in that fight, you know. So I don't know. I honestly think I don't know what the line is for this fight right now.
Let me check it, but I know it was pretty high still. Like the first fight, obviously, I think Pena was a minus. I think Pena is plus 1,000, I believe. I can double check that, but let me double check
right now.
Well, let me double check. Okay, so for the first fight. The line was minus 800 for Nunes, and Pena was plus 500. My bad. It wasn't plus 1,000. That's by finish, I believe. It was plus 1,000. For this fight, sorry, let me just give you the line for this fight.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me just get it for you. Right now, there's two lines out there. Okay, so two different sportsbooks have different lines. BetMGM has minus 1,200 on Nunes, plus 700 on Pena, which is pretty insane.
Yeah,
and then
crazy.
And then Bet Online has minus 285 plus 245, which seems more right.
Yeah,
Nunes is favored again, though. She is definitely favored. I understand that completely.
Yeah, me too.
I really don't know who I'm going to pick in this fight. I mean, this is 2 months away, Marcel. Like we're not picking a winner right now, but
dude, at plus 700, I would.
I would have to take it, right? Yeah. I mean, I see. Hey, Josh, what's up, man? Yeah, I'm looking at the line too, and I mean, you're right. Like at this point, like right now, I would take her at plus 700. There's no doubt about it, right? But I mean. I don't want to make a bet yet. I want to think about this fight more. You know what I mean? Although I would say like there's definitely value on that. Like at this point, because look at the way the fight went. But again, Marcel, it's so far out. We're just taking a quick look at this card because it was just announced. I'm not picking winners today. I don't think that's fair to do. Like I haven't done enough research, and like I really need to watch that fight back because from what I remember, like didn't like Nunes do really well in the first round, like with the wrestling control, and then all of a sudden got like tired. Like it was kind of weird, right? Any thoughts?
Yeah, that's what I said, man. It's just, you know, it's super weird. I'm like, I can't agree with the line at first. I kind of thought was still high, but I agreed, and I think it was deserved for Nunes, and definitely because Pena lost to Jermaine Durandamy with a submission. You know, I think that's what people were also like, wow, okay, but then, I mean,
no, I know it's crazy.
It's crazy that she's plus 700 on a sports book in the second fight. That's really crazy to me.
I don't know what the limit is on that right now. Like, I would assume it's not a huge limit, but like, if you do have a bad MGM account, I don't blame you at all for taking a shot at that. And holy crap, I'm looking at the props, plus 2,200 for a TKO for Pena, plus 1,600 for a submission. I mean, those are pretty crazy numbers. Like, considering she won the first fight.
With submission.
I mean, it's like I know, but if you watch that, man, that was a weak submission. Like I don't know how she tapped out to that. I've never seen her gassed out like that either. Alex, I do think maybe COVID had something to do with it because she had COVID before. Remember, Marcel? They were supposed to fight last summer, and then it was pushed back 4 months. And I was thinking to myself, that's kind of odd because usually when the fighters tested positive for COVID, it was 2 weeks later. They would just put them back in, Marcel. But with her, it was 4 months, so she must have had it really bad. You know, really, like honestly. What's up, Bod Smoker? What's going on, man? Glad to have you here, buddy. We're doing an early show today just because the time difference for us, and it's a holiday for me. All right, let's talk about some other fights. I was at this first fight, Marcel, between Moreno and France, in Vegas, and it was a very close fight, Marcel. And now we have the rematch here. Let me check if there's odds. There might be. No, I don't think there's odds for this one. But I would imagine. I mean, considering Moreno won the first fight, I'd imagine he'll be favored, but. I think it'll be but I think it'll be very competitive. You know, again, I'm not picking a winner today, but I'd imagine like the first fight was very close, Marcel. It really could have gone either way.
I don't know, dude. To be really honest, I
think first fight?
I think Moreno won that fight, dude.
He did win the fight. I mean, but it was pretty close, man. Like, look at the numbers here. I mean, it's just numbers, but it wasn't that crazy. You know, it was 29-28 fight. Look, all the rounds were pretty competitive. Again, I thought he won too, but this is 5 rounds. It's a different fight. Kara Francis looked improved. I know you're not a huge fan of the guy, Marcel. I mean, obviously, the last fight, I don't think you thought he won. A lot of people didn't think he won that fight against Askarov, but the guy's good. it's just hard to say. Like, Moreno got dropped 3 times in his last fight. Isn't that crazy? Wow, the last fight he did not look great, eh? Marcel, the last one against Figueiredo.
I still think that was a close fight, dude. I don't think Figueiredo clearly won that fight, to be really honest, man.
I think he won. I mean, but yeah, it was pretty competitive. But it's crazy to see 3 knockdowns here. I didn't even realize there was 3 of them. I guess the third round had 2 of them, yeah. But yeah, I mean, he survived it. Obviously, he has that win over Figueiredo. The guy's good. You know, I am glad we're going to mix it up a little bit, Marcel, because these guys are fun fights. There's no doubt about it. But it's nice to see a different matchup. A couple other fights here. Derek Lewis, Pavlovich. We've talked about this one, I believe, in the past.
Derek Lewis gets a fucked up fight in Texas again.
I know. I think Pavlovich will be favored for sure. I mean, listen, Pavlovich will be favored, but this is an interesting fight. I mean, listen, the guy could definitely knock Lewis out in the first round, but if he doesn't, then it gets interesting with Lewis. We know how often he's come back in fights, so interesting fight. Costa Rockhold, Marcel. I mean, I'd imagine Costa will be a decent favorite for that fight, if you ask me.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't know how you could pick Rockhold at this point. Like, listen, I know the guy's got great ground game and everything, but I don't know how you could pick him.
I don't understand Rockhold why he takes a fight with Costa at middleweight.
The knockout artist.
No, but I would never accept the fight with Costa at middleweight after what he pulled last time. You know what I mean?
With Vittori, yeah.
I would never accept it.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I don't get it either. And obviously Ankalaev Smith, which is a great fight.
Let me add to that. The UFC should have told him to move up to 205 and not let him at 185. What he did last time, that was super disrespectful.
It was,
you know what I mean? He could have easily said to his opponent, like, I'm not going to make it likely, let's do 205. He did it, I think, at the week itself or something, or just stupid. And he was super, he was laughing about it, and he was like, oh, not a big deal, I don't care. Right. Okay, then let's put you at 205 next time. I think the UFC should have done that.
Yeah, I agree. Ankalaev Smith, I'd imagine Ankalaev will be favored for that. I mean, Smith's obviously a gamer, though, so it should be a good fight. Yeah. Dober Alves, again, we don't have odds. I'm just kind of guessing, but I think Dober will be favored slightly for that fight.
He should be favored, man.
Should be favored. Alves is pretty good, man. He's underrated. So
I agree.
Fight. Brahimaj and Morales. I'm curious to see what the line is on this one. I'm definitely going to be looking at Morales, Marcel. I'm not going to lie.
I think Morales will be favored.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be crazy, though, because I remember against Trevor Giles, he was like, I think he was minus 130, I want to say. Let me double check that.
Close at a pick him, maybe, but
it was very
Morales
close.
A slight favorite, maybe.
Yeah, he closed at minus 120, so I mean, it was very close. But I do think he'll probably be favored after that knockout. Nikolai Negromarino, Igor Proteria. I mean, I don't know. Like, this one's interesting.
Rebooked?
Yeah. Listen, Nikolai's pretty much always an underdog except for when he fought Ike, so it could be like a pick 'em line here maybe. Igor looked really good on Contender Series. It's just he hasn't fought in a while now. It's been debut. Yeah, it's his debut. I mean, Contender he looked good though, so he was a big underdog in that fight. I think he was I'm gonna check, but I think he was like I want to say he was. Let me see here. Igor, how do you spell this guy's last name? Proteria. Okay. I'm spelling his name wrong. I don't know why I can't find it on here. This is
Ihor. Maybe Ihor.
Yeah. I did. Yeah. Okay, I found. They don't have that right. Let me check this. I think they spelled his name wrong on Best Fight Odds, man. Sorry about that, guys. I think they spelled his name wrong or something. I can't find it here. It's really weird. What was his opponent? Okay, here they spelled his name completely. Look at the way they spelled his name. Igor Proteria with a Y, and they spelled his first name differently. Yeah, he was plus 235. Anyways, we'll see what happens with that one. Justin Taffa, Dontel Mays, another kind of toss-up fight, Marcel, honestly.
Yeah, man, the number 1 contender, according to the UFC broadcast.
Yeah, I know, that's funny. Ferreira and Close, I mean, good fight. I think Close should be favored, honestly, after that last performance, man. I really do. And then this last fight came in Agapova. I'd imagine Agapova would be favored again, but I mean, it's hard to trust her with the cardio and everything, so... Yeah. We'll see. Anyways, I just want to look at that card. Just a quick look ahead. We'll go to your Twitter page or your Instagram page here. Hey Daniel, what's up, man? How's it going? What's up, Alex? You guys are. Thanks for joining us early, man. I appreciate it. All right, let's go to your Instagram page more. So let's look at some fights here. Some upcoming fights. Just a bonus podcast. By the way, guys, ask any questions. We'll take any questions today. I should have mentioned that already. Just a Q&A podcast. We're not going to go, I don't think, for the full hour today, but we'll stay here for as long as we need to for questions and stuff. All right, so this is the fight we just talked about, Marcel. So that's the one. Go to the next fight here. Same thing. I didn't even ask you this. Have you been watching Tough or no?
Just the fights, man. Just the fights.
I've been watching it, man. I have watched it. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's really like cool to like hate on Tough and be like, oh, I don't watch Ultimate Fighter. It sucks. Everyone likes to say that, right? Listen, it's not that great of a show anymore. I get that. I just wanted to watch the season because it's like, what, 45 minutes once a week? It's not a big deal. Like, we're also going to watch anyways, you know what I mean?
Fights haven't been good in my opinion.
Fights have been shit, though. That's the problem. That's the problem, Marcel. The last fight was so bad, guys. How bad was that fight, Marcel?
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Mohamed Usman against Mitchell Sipe, or what's
so bad. Mitchell Sipe kept going, hitting his belly and like going, ah. Remember that? Like, what was the guy doing? And Amanda's like, what are you doing? Like, stop playing with your food. The fights have been shit on the show, unfortunately. The first fight was okay. I think Zach Puaga, I believe, he looked okay. That first fight was not bad. His opponent was terrible, though. So, and then the women,
the undefeated guy, right?
Yeah, and the women's fight, that fight was a bad decision in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think the judges. That's what I'm saying. Look at that. Helena Peralta should have won that fight. Okay, and because of these judges, now she's not getting a chance to go on in the tournament. So again, the judges really screw people over. Hey Jay, what's up? The fights have been terrible this season, unfortunately too. I mean, I looked at the cast. I wasn't like expecting amazing fights, Marcel, but I thought they'd be like with fighters like careers potentially in the UFC on the line. I thought they'd be like motivated. Doesn't seem like it though. Like the last fight, Marcel, like neither guy really wanted to do much. You know what I mean? Basically, the guy won on points. It was pretty bad.
I told before, man, with Mohamed Usman, I never saw like he has the name, you know, with Kamaru, but I don't think he has the talent.
He's not that good, man. I mean, we saw in PFL. Remember, Brandon Sales destroyed him. Brandon Sales was an old dude who's like a huge underdog and destroyed him. So Steve's asking about a replacement for Derek Minner. He has a concussion. He's off that fight. He was Damon Jackson was a big favorite. To me, that was kind of a no-brainer, honestly, Marcel. Damon Jackson would have won that fight, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I really like Damon Jackson. He was minus 300, I think. Any word on their opponent? Do you have any idea?
I got told he will remain on the card, but there's no opponent yet.
Do you want to guess who he's going to fight? You want to take a guess? He's at featherweight, right? Or is it
I can guess, but I don't know.
He's at featherweight, right? I believe, right?
Yeah, featherweight, yeah.
Okay, so let me just take a look at the roster for a second. Well, I mean, I think he'll fight someone decent. Probably another grappler, I would imagine, just because they like to throw him in with grapplers. Is Chas Skelly retired? He's retired?
He's retired, yeah.
Okay, that would have been a good fight. Landon Venata, would that be a good fight?
If he's ready, yeah, why not? Or Darren Elkins.
Darren Elkins. Is Ryan Hall still fighting? That would be a fun fight, right?
Yeah, but Ryan doesn't take fights, so
he wouldn't take that fight, no. Just like looking at the roster. I don't know. I mean, those are the guys that are kind of like standing out to me right now. Julianna Rosa, does he have a fight booked?
No, and that's actually a good option.
There we go, right? I just booked it, right? Just call up Sean Shelby, Marcel, get that fight booked, okay? I think that's a good fight. I mean, there's some fun fights. Kron Gracie would be fun too. I don't know if he fights anymore though.
I have no idea. We haven't seen him for a long time. So.
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of guys here that would be fun. I mean, even Tristan Connolly would be a good fight, Marcel. Honestly, it'd be a fun fight. You know, like there's a lot of fun fights for him. Nate Landwehr would be a good one too. I mean, there's a lot of good fights actually. Now that I'm looking at I love the featherweight division. It's so good, Marcel. I still think that bantamweight's the best right now, probably, but featherweight's great too. So any of those guys make sense, guys. What's up, Rex? How's it going, man? Hope all is well, buddy. He's asking about Dustin Jacoby and Darren Jung. I think it's a great fight. You know, Dustin Jacoby is a great striker. Darren Jung's very well-rounded. I think Darren Jung's more well-rounded, though. I mean, he's very good. But again, if he stays on the feet, we saw Sam Alvey give this guy problems. So I don't know. Any thoughts on that fight, Marcel? The guy's asking.
I mean, I really like Dustin Jacoby, man. But on the other hand, Darren Jung has looked good besides the Alvey fight. So yeah. It's an intriguing one. It's one. I think Jacoby's top 15. Down Jung is just not in the top 15.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an intriguing fight, and I think the winner of this fight might have a top 10 opponent next. You know, so
I agree. Let's go to some other fights here. Lucas Brzeski, Martin Boudet. Where's the guy that always asked about these guys? Remember I don't think he listens to our podcast anymore. I mean, I think he dipped out. Whatever, that's cool. But remember that guy who was asking every week about these guys. Now they're fighting each other. There you go, buddy. There's your answer. I mean, I would imagine Boudet will be favored, Marcel, because he does have that win now in the UFC over Chris Barnett, even though it was really controversial and probably should. Like, I don't know how you win a fight by DQ, but I guess that's kind of how we won. Any thoughts on this? Early thoughts?
Yeah, difficult, man. We saw Brzeski in the Contender Series. That fight got overturned, right?
Yeah. What did he test positive for, though? Do you remember?
I don't know, but it's probably not that bad, because if it was really bad, he was cut probably. So
that's true. Let me double check what he got tested positive for. I don't know if it was steroids. It might have been something else.
Maybe pot.
It says ban. No, I don't think it was pot. Banned substance. Okay. Clomiphene, hormone medication used to treat infertility in women. Isn't that what John Jones tested positive for at one point? I want to say.
Right, yeah.
Let me double check that. Yes, he did. Yeah, John Jones tested positive for this too. That's the same thing he tested positive for. So
Okay.
I don't know, Marcel. I mean, that's kind of weird. It seems like one of those things that blocks like the test being read, I think, but I'm not 100% sure. So I don't know. Any thoughts on Contender Series roster anyone had an eye on? I haven't looked yet, man. Have you looked, Marcel?
No, not really, man.
I
It's
haven't looked either.
in
It's
June, so
yeah, it's
or
a little
July.
farther away. July to September, I think, right? I think it's 10 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Last week of July, and then for 10 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, our boy Nolan King, he's got all the matchups, I believe, or some of them. He's good.
Sean
he's good
Bitter as well.
Sean Bitter's great too. Yeah, those guys are awesome. Appreciate it, fellas. No problem, man. Yeah, I'm glad to have you here, Steven. All you guys. I mean, thanks for joining us early on in the day here for today's show. A couple other fights. I like this fight, Marcel. Two grapplers, Macron Abercrombie and Jonathan Pierce. I mean, listen, it's crazy, right? Abercrombie would have been cut had he not beaten Grundy, Marcel. Now he gets a pretty good opponent here in Pierce. Any thoughts on this one?
I had to laugh about some of the comments where like Macron is not welcome in England after what he did to Grundy last time. So,
I know, right?
Yeah. I feel like I've underestimated Jonathan Pierce, dude, to be really honest. You know, I feel like at the first fight, I think he lost to Joe Lozon, right? In his debut. I was like, oh, okay, that's not a good look. But then he won 3 straight. He looked really good against Kai Kamaka, looked really good against Omar Morales with a finish. And the Rodriguez fight, I think that was the most recent one. He won the fight. Wasn't spectacular or whatever, but he won the fight, you know. So he's on a 3-fight win streak. But yeah, you know what Macron brings to the table. So it should be an interesting fight, you know. And yeah, looking forward to it. Let's see what's happening. And you don't see too many American fighters going to Europe to fight, man. Normally it's like Europe matchup, you know. And now I like to see it.
Hey, Tyler, what's up, man? What's going on, fellas? Glad to make the show for the first time in a long time. Tyler, what's up, man? I remember you used to listen to like every podcast, but I know he's got a job, I think, at the same time. Glad to have you here, man. Hope everything's well with you, Tyler. I know he's a fellow bowler, Marcel. He loves bowling too, just like me. So there we go. He's a good dude. Glad to have you here, buddy. A couple other fights. I think this fight was booked last year, wasn't it? And Van Camp. And Van Camp's dropping down to lightweight against, I think, for this fight. So, Marcel, 2 guys that were just knocked out. Yeah, I mean, probably someone gets knocked out again. Imagine this fight too. Someone's going to get finished. I don't think this fight goes in 3 rounds. Any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I like Mata, you know that. I think he's a good prospect, but he had Jim Miller last time, and that was difficult.
And Jim Miller was a huge underdog. Remember that?
Yeah.
We were like, what the heck?
We both picked Miller on that one, so we got a good read on it. Van Camp, I think the dude fought for 9 titles in his last 9 fights, you know, and he won 6 or 7. It's crazy, actually. And he lost to Fiallo on short notice. I mean, things happen. This is actually, both guys have a full training camp for this one, so looking forward to it, man.
Yeah, it's a good fight. September. It's really far away. Marcel, they're trying to book fights out far out now.
Yeah.
This fight's official. Tafon Chukwi, Carlos Ulberg. It's already on UFC stats. I was looking today, Marcel. 2 strikers. Any thoughts?
I hope Ulberg fights better than last time. You know what I mean?
Bad.
It was really a fucked up fight against Fabio Charant. Charant didn't do shit, but Ulberg didn't look good. Ulberg is a little bit like Adesanya in a way of, I make it look like I'm doing amazing stuff, but actually I'm not doing a lot. You know what I mean? But Adesanya does it normally. He does, but he has also those fights with, I'm doing super flashy stuff and I'm looking super impressive, but actually I don't do a lot, but it looks like I'm coming off impressive. That's what Ulberg did against Charant. And if you look at Tafon and Chukwi, he actually did good against Azamat Murzakanov, man, until he got finished. So it's difficult, man, but I feel like difficult to say, but I think Ulberg has still a big learning curve, dude. That's what I feel like. And Tafon and Chukwi also kind of, but I don't know. It's a tough matchup.
To pick this one. Yeah. I agree. It's a difficult one. They're both strikers. It should be competitive. Yeah. Here we go, Marcel. Here we go. This is the fight of the year, guys. Here we go.
You understand I picked that picture of Alvey on purpose, right?
It's so funny. Everyone is like hating on him in the comments. I don't know if on here, but I saw on Twitter people were like talking crap about him. Listen, people don't like Sam Alvey because quite frankly, he should not be on the roster right now, right? But here's the thing. UFC really likes this guy. He's taken so many tough fights over the years. He has 6 kids, guys. 6 children. The guy needs to have a job. You know what I mean, Marcel? Like, I do think that kind of plays an effect, I would imagine. Knowing that, hey, this guy, how much does Sam Alvey make? 50 maybe? He doesn't win his fight, so they don't have to pay him his win bonus.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, they're not really paying the guy much money. And honestly, these fights are usually pretty entertaining. So should he be in the roster? No. But I'm just saying, like, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world he's on the roster because he does have wins over guys on the roster still. So any thoughts on this fight? Anything?
Yeah, I don't think it's a great matchup for him, to be honest, dude. Because Oleksiejczuk should go to middleweight. It's a tough one for Sam Alvey again, you know. But I wish him all the best, you know. I have nothing against the guy, you know. He's actually a really a nice person as well, you know. He's really, I don't know. People are probably something against him because he spoke out against, what was that? How do you say that? If man, now I don't get the word. It's super annoying sometimes. When you come together with a union, he spoke out against the union. You know,
right. Yeah.
What the fans hate. But dude, I like the guy. He's always very positive. He fights, and he just wants to make money for his family, dude. So I can't hate on that, you know.
Was his last fight that fucked up one where like it was?
That's Brandon Allen.
Oh, it was Brandon Allen. Sorry, what was the one before that? Where all the point deductions? What fight was that again?
Oh, against Wellington Turman.
Yeah, that fight was really fucked up. That fight, remember that one? That was really messed up. You're right. I mean, Brandon Allen, was that not short notice? Like Brandon took it on short notice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, most people will lose to Brandon Allen. I'm just looking at Sam's record. I mean, listen, he's lost to mostly top 15 guys. You know, again, he shouldn't be on the roster because of the losses, but like from a UFC point of view, he's a guy that will take any fight you offer him. He will always show up to fight, so I get it. But I mean, if he loses this fight, Marcel, he'd be on an 0-8-1 draw streak.
One draw gets down, John.
That's what's keeping him on the roster. I'm pretty sure. I think he said that. I'm pretty sure he said that. Like Sean Shelby Maynard thought he won that fight, and I think I scored it for him too, if I'm not mistaken. Mm-hmm. Maybe I had a draw. I can't remember now, but I know it was a very close fight. Exactly. That's probably why he's a job because he'll take the fights. There's a question here, Marcel. How do you guys think the recent Rising and Bellator partnership will expand? I know they've allowed Kyoji to come over. I heard they're going to do more. Not sure, man. I mean, I think it's good though. I mean, it'd be cool to see like Fedor fight in Rising, right? Like to fight in Japan for his last fight, maybe. Like I'd like to see that. It's like Thomas Super Arena. I mean, that's where all the best fights of all time took place, right, Marcel? Any thoughts on that? I don't know if it'll happen, but it'd be awesome, right?
So Thomas Super Arena is amazing. You know, you also had in the great days you had the K1 over there. Remember?
Yeah.
I mean, those are venues with like so many over, maybe double, three times the UFC audience. You know, those are full stadiums almost. So, yeah, I'd love to see it, but
I agree. Let's go to some other fights here. You guys keep throwing the questions, and we'll take any of the questions you have today. We always get questions during the breakdown show, Marcel. We can't take them because we're doing the breakdowns. But we're out here today. Cody Brundage, Trishan Gore. I mean, listen, Brundage was getting his ass kicked and somehow won his last fight. Gore looked so bad in his last fight, Marcel. Like, I have no idea what to think about this one. I'd imagine Brundage will be favored, though. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Gore will be favored, man. But
you think Gore will be favored? Okay.
I think they favor Gore for some reason, but I think Brundage should be favored. Brundage take the fight on short notice, right? Because Gore was supposed to fight, let me think.
Josh Friend.
Josh Friend, yeah.
That was surprised they booked that because Friend just fought Anthony Fernandez. That was a very quick rebooking for him.
Word, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was short notice for Brundage. Okay, I can see that, but it's still 6 weeks away. It's not
it's not really short notice.
It's not really that much short notice. I agree. Fight of the year right here, Aspen Ladd.
I was so happy this got booked. You know, because I really had the feeling they were going to do McMann Pennington for the main event of June 25. So I was so happy this got booked.
Is this a main event fight? It's not. Right?
No.
Okay. I think Aspen's looked so bad her last couple fights. Like I don't know what to think about her anymore. Sara looked good in her last fight, man. She beat Carol Rosa, who's a good prospect, and beat her pretty easily. Again, she always gasses out in that third round, Marcel. That's the problem with her, right? But I don't know how I could trust Aspen Ladd anymore. I mean, but she is 15 years younger. That's again, Carol Rosa was too, right? And she lost. So again, Sara McMann's one of those fighters that she's older, but she can still win fights. So I don't know. Any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, no idea, man. Normally I would favor Aspen, but Aspen hasn't looked good in the last couple of fights, like you said, man.
Yeah,
Was really disappointed with how she looked lately.
yeah.
And I don't know if she can turn things around. If she can turn things around, she might win this. Fucking fly over here. She might win this, but I don't know.
That's funny. Oh, my bad. Here's another one. Trey Ogden, Daniel Zellhuber. I mean, well, Trey Ogden, I mean, geez, man. I guess looking back, you really should have won that fight with Levitt because he's getting an even harder opponent now, Marcel. I'm not going to lie. This is a really bad fight for this guy, I think. Zellhuber's a legit prospect. I know he doesn't have a ton of experience compared to Ogden. I mean, 12 to 20 fights. But I'm pretty sure Zellhuber will be favored, Marcel. If he's not, then I'd love to bet him underdog, but he'll be favored, I believe. Any thoughts?
Yeah, Mexican with a German name, Zellhuber. Yeah, I liked Zellhuber what I saw in the Contender Series, right, against Lucas Almeida. Almeida's also now signed with the UFC. I don't think this is a good fight for Trey Ogden at all.
Either.
But,
I don't think so either. I'm surprised he took this fight, Marcel. I'm not going to lie.
Many people think he looks like Ryan Garcia. What do you think?
Who, this guy?
Yeah, Zellhuber.
A little bit, yeah. He kind of does, actually. I'm surprised Ogden took this fight. I don't like this fight for him. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets an injury or something, Marcel, because this is a bad fight for him, obviously.
Also, 10-year age difference. Right?
Yeah, I know. I just noticed that, too. That's a pretty big age gap. Devin Clark and Azmat Mirzakhanov. Mirzakhanov, like you said, Marcel, he put the cheat code in the last fight. Like, he found the cheat code, put in his Game Shark, and won the fight against Chukwi because he was losing that fight, Marcel. And I think we both picked him, and I'm like, oh, man, I should not have picked this guy. And then, bang, gets that crazy knockout. If a legit wrestler, Clark. Any thoughts? Go ahead.
If he fights against Clark as he fought against Chukwi, he's not going to win, dude.
Yeah,
I think, but or he has to use the cheat code again like he did last time. But he has
what button combination was it? A B A B A A A B. Like, what did he press on the controller, Marcel?
I don't know, man. Sounds like you sound like an Xbox, and I play PlayStation. So
no, I don't play Xbox. I have a PlayStation. I have a Nintendo Switch. That's what I play now.
Okay.
I like the Switch the best, honestly. I had an Xbox 20 years ago, the first one. I haven't had it since, so. But I have a PS4. I don't have PS5 yet. I could get it, but I don't have time. I really don't, Marcel. It's just crazy. Being a dad, like we talked about, right? It's such a distraction. So
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Clark might win this fight, man. He could grind it out. We'll see. I mean, Mirzakhanov's an older guy too, Marcel. He's almost 36 now, so he's not a young guy at all. Clark looked great against Knight. This is such a good fight. I love this fight, Marcel. Muslim Salikhov and Jingliang. How good is this fight, Marcel? I mean, what an awesome fight. Two strikers. Jingliang's good, man. He's got power, but I think Salikhov is the better striker, like overall. So I think he should be favored here. I don't know. Any thoughts?
Yeah, it's difficult, man. I mean, the thing is with Li Jingliang, I think he's really inconsistent. You know what I mean? So you never know which Li Jingliang you're going to get. He has some great wins against Ponzinibbio and against Oleksiejczuk dos Santos, remember? And I think Salikhov, he got the win over Oleksiejczuk, but I thought Oleksiejczuk won the fight. So, yeah, it's a difficult one. I'm not sure.
Someone called you the GOAT here. And then there was a guy on Twitter that said Marcel sucks. And he's like, Marcel's the worst reporter in MMA. Remember that guy, Marcel? Like,
yeah.
You're like, what a nice guy. What a nice guy, Marcel. Fucking weird people, man. They have nothing better to do than to go after Marcel, who's like a nice guy who does nothing but good for the community, who's never talking crap about anyone. It's ridiculous, Marcel. There's so many losers out there, man, that just want to like go after people that are happy. You know, Marcel, because people are so miserable. They go after people who are happy. J. Perrin, Arichi Lang. I mean, Perrin is a tough dude, but I mean, I don't really like this fight for him. Any thoughts?
Yeah, it's kind of a weird booking in my opinion, man. Perrin lost his first fight in the UFC on short notice, and now he's getting Aruchi Lang, who had a big win over Cameron Else for him after going 0-2 at the flyweight. But in those 0-2 fights, he was very competitive. So, yeah.
The Jeff Molina fight was very good, very good. If that fight was like another 10 seconds, he might have knocked him out at the bell, Marcel.
Yeah, it was possible. It was also fight of the night, if I can remember correctly.
He destroyed Cameron Else. He destroyed him.
And the Cody Durden fight was also pretty close. So
yeah, it was. You're right. He's pretty good. Did you see this guy's tattoo? It's the Joker.
Yeah.
And he's got a Wu-Tang Clan tattoo as well. Whoa, that's kind of cool. Not what I would want to get tattooed to my chest, but that's kind of cool. Billy Q and Bill Alger. I mean, this could be fight of the night right here, right? Like, is this his nickname, Hollywood Handsome? Is that fake?
No, I'm gonna tell you how this comes.
Okay.
So I was at a podcast once with Gabe Killian, right?
Yep.
And you got also Smack the God over there, which is Leon. And Leon was like, I'm not going to lie, dude. He's like, but this Billy Carantillo, he's Hollywood handsome. He says so. And I showed it to Billy that last like a year ago or something. And Billy was laughing. He's like, I put that on my Instagram. I was like, I'm not just going to call you Hollywood handsome from now on. So that's actually an ongoing thing. But it's not his official nickname.
Two guys that are named Bill, Marcel. The Battle of the Bills. I mean, whoever loses has to change their name to William, right? I think that's the deal. I believe it's a funny fight. It's a fun fight. I mean,
to Billiam.
Billiam, yeah, no, it's so funny. I always thought it was funny how you got Bill out of William. Hey, Marcel, like I never really understand. It's like getting what's it called? Dick out of Richard. I never really that one. I don't really understand at all. Dude, I don't get it. Right? I never understood that one at all. I call him Dick. His name is Richard. I don't get it.
Imagine your first name is Digger, your last name is Richard. Dick Richard.
That's funny. Or even Chuck from Charles. Like that. Even that one's a little like I don't really understand it. Right? Like I don't. Sometimes I don't get it.
There's you have an assistant trainer over here in the Netherlands with soccer. His name is Kok Jol.
Oh
and you have a referee. His name was Dick Jol. I'm not serious. I'm not even joking. I always like Dick and Cock.
Oh God, this fight should be good. Mearshart and Silva. I mean, Mearshart didn't look very good in his last fight. Silva, good striker. It's striker grappler, right? So I like the fight. You like the matchmaking?
Oh yeah, it's a good one. I think Mearshart always takes the difficult fights for him, you know, and also same for Bruno Silva. He actually replied, Bruno Silva.
Yeah, I see that. Let's go. Yeah, I think Gerald replies to you sometimes too, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know for sure, but he's pretty active on Twitter, anyways. I don't know if he's
on Twitter. Yes, yeah.
He's so funny on Twitter. Remember that fight with I don't know Kamzat versus Burns?
Yeah.
He's like, you want to play a drinking game? Take a shot every time they show the highlight of me getting sent to the Shadow Realm. He'll be blasted by the time the night's over. I thought that was so funny. I mean, the guy, hey man, if you can like laugh at your losses, and I'm the same way in my life, Marcel. I mean, I like to laugh when I'm wrong. You know what I mean? It's better to take things in stride than like get upset about it. I like Gerald. You know what I mean? He's a good dude, man. Honestly, he's a funny guy. Got a couple of questions about this. Sorry, there's a question here. Any updates on the guy I just mentioned, Chimaev, Colby, Diaz, Poirier? I mean, these guys have been asking for fights for months. I don't get it. I don't understand it at all. Like, I don't get it. Nate Diaz hasn't fought in a year. Poirier hasn't fought in 6 months. Colby hasn't fought in, 3 months. Colby's, okay. With Colby, I think he's just going to wait to see what happens with the Masvidal thing, Marcel, before he takes a fight. I mean, I could be wrong, but I know they've offered him, obviously, Khamzat and Poirier. Don't know if those fights will happen. I don't understand why they're icing Nate Diaz though. Give him a fight. Like he's got one fight left on his deal. Get him a fight, and then he can do whatever he wants. The guy's, I think Nate's like what 35 now, 36.
Yeah.
Like if they're gonna keep him on the roster forever without giving him a fight, I mean, I don't. He's 37. Sorry, he just turned 37. Nate's at the end of his career. He wants to get paid. He probably wants to go to boxing. I don't blame him, Marcel. I think Nate kind of deserves that big payday. The UFC won't give it to him, then let someone else give it to him. I still think they could do the Conor McGregor trilogy fight. I still think that makes so much sense, but
I agree.
You just don't want to do that fight. He doesn't fight very often, guys. He fights like basically once every 2 years now. So, but I love Nate. Hey, Loco, what's up, man? Demir and Gurov should be in the UFC 275 pay-per-view. I agree. I mean, I was looking at the card for the UFC Austin. It's buried on I think it's on the main card, but it's buried
on the main card.
Yeah, but it's buried on it, Marcel. Like, no one's really going to be talking about it. I think that's a main card fight for a pay-per-view. That's a very difficult fight to call. I'm not going to lie, guys. It's a very competitive fight. It should be a great fight. Great question, man. I agree completely. Alge's anyway, great fighter. I wouldn't say he's great, but he's pretty solid. I'm still pissed because he lost to Ramos. I had to bet on him in that fight. I was surprised he lost that fight, Marcel. I got to be honest with you. But he's solid. There's no doubt about it. I wouldn't say he's great, though. I mean, this is an awesome fight. I don't know if we've talked about this one, but I love this fight. Riddell and Turner. This is official as well. You know, Turner has been knocked out a bunch of times, but not recently. And Riddell, you know, he's well-rounded, but I mean, Turner's got such a great ground game. I don't know, Marcel. This is a really tough fight to call. Any thoughts about this one?
Yeah, man. Turner always scares the crap out of me, dude.
Tarantulas.
Sorry?
With the tarantulas.
Yeah, on the Instagram stories. But he has looked good lately. You know, he had a great win over Uros Medic in his last fight. Riddell is going to get it more difficult now. Now he's fighting ranked opponents, but now he's not fighting a ranked guy. He's fighting a guy who want to get his ranking, you know. So Yeah, looking forward to it. But Turner is big, right, for lightweight. He's really one of the biggest lightweights. So, yeah, I'm looking forward how Riddell is going to try to land his strikes to Turner, man.
Try go for that overhand right, man. Just
Yeah.
try to knock him out. I think that's how Luke knocked. I can't remember now, but how did Luke knock him out? I can't remember now.
A long time ago, dude.
I know. I'm just trying to think what punch was it that landed. Let me double check. I got to see what it was. I'm gonna check the play-by-play from that card. First round finish. What was it? Oh, it was let's see here. Yeah, big right hand. That's what it was. I didn't remember it right. That's what Riddell's going to look for. But, I mean, Turner's gotten good, man. So, I mean, I don't know. It's tough. And I agree with 8 Loco. He does have good wrestling as well.
And that was welterweight, right, against Luque.
That's true, actually. Yeah, that was a good point. Ricky Simone, Jack Shore.
Great fight.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are both ranked in the bottom half of the division, both grapplers. Shore really surprised me against Teamer Valley and Marcel. I got to be honest with you. I didn't think he'd win that fight, and he looked really good in that fight, I thought. Improved striking, good grappling. And then Ricky Simone always looks good with the grappling, but kind of one-dimensional in my opinion, Marcel. I got to be honest with you. And I feel like that's why he's not getting a higher-ranked guy. Am I wrong? Like, because you think that a guy who's been on a nice little streak like him would get someone higher ranked, but I guess the UFC's not like super high on him. I don't know. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, actually, he did knock out Sunset. I should mention that in his last fight. He did knock him out, but yeah.
I'm not sure. I think Simone, this is actually a second chance for Simone after he lost to Faber back then, and then
I still can't. That was one of the bigger surprises for me, that fight. Marcel, were you not surprised by that one?
I was as well.
Yeah.
He lost back-to-back to Faber and Font, right? And this is a second chance to make a run in that division. But sure, listen, man, to be really honest, that Valia fight, Shore won the third round. He had 2 knockdowns, right? I didn't give that 10-8 because I thought it was competitive beside the knockdowns. The first two rounds you could have gave to Valiev, I think.
Yeah.
It was really close. So I'm not sure about this one. Could go either way. I think Shore wanted to be on the London card, but I think Ricky Simone probably was like, fucker, if you want to take my ranking, you come to the US. I'm not going to go to fucking London, and I think he is right in that. He's the higher ranked guy, and he gives actually an opportunity to Shore. Yeah, it should be a good fight. I like it. But bantamweight is great overall, right? Even the non-ranked.
Such a good division. So good. I mean, this fight, I don't understand this booking, Marcel. I got to be honest with you. Like, this looks like an easy fight for Ramos on paper. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree.
I'm surprised by it. I don't understand this matchup. And if you're Danny Chavez, like, why take this fight? Like, you got to take a fight, I guess, whatever they offer, because at this point he's 1-1-1. This is his last fight in his contract.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like this.
So he needs to win this fight.
He does. He'll get cut if he loses, but I don't like the matchup for him. I'm not going to lie, man.
He should actually be 1-2 because I think he lost to Kamaka, but okay.
Yeah, that was a point deduction, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I think we've talked about these fights, so we already talked about those ones. We're going to close that. We'll take any more questions, guys, that you guys have. We'll take any more. We'll go for a few more minutes here, Marcel. I think Simone could bang 2 rounds of control. Might be a close decision. Maybe. I mean, Shore's going to be hard to take down, I believe. Like, I think he's pretty good on the ground, obviously, as well. So it's an interesting fight. I'm just going to see what else is out there, Marcel. Not a ton of news lately, obviously. Pretty much the biggest thing that's going on right now is the judging. A lot of people talking about the judging. You want to talk anything about judging, or we talk about?
I'm so bored about that, dude.
Me too. It's so lame. Like I don't want to talk about this point. These guys are just screwing people over. Nothing changes, and nothing changes, Marcel. Nothing changes. You know what I mean? And then people are going to go out there and defend these judges. Why do you want to defend these people you don't even know? It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get it.
Fucking weirdos.
Any thoughts about Michel Pereira and Jorge Masvidal? Did you see this?
Yeah, I saw that. That's weird, dude, because actually I saw his wife actually said something to Masvidal, and he just gave like this one to her. So what's he talking about, man? And also, he's not going to get the Masvidal fight. I can tell you that. He's not going to get it.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it right now. His wife sent him a message, and he just sent like the prayer sign back.
So
Gina Amir.
So what did his wife said? She's like, "Oh my God, George sent me a message." And it's like, "Oh my God, I'm so upset about this." Super weird.
I mean, his wife's definitely good looking. There's no doubt about it. I mean, good for Michel. I mean, he's a good looking guy too. I mean, not you know what I mean. Just saying, like he definitely is. When I'm watching his fights the other day, my fiance is like, hey, he's like, I really like Michel Pereira. I'm like, I can see why you like him. I mean, the guy's a handsome dude, and there's no doubt about it. So nothing wrong with saying that, Marcel.
No.
Thoughts on Armand versus Gamrot being 5 rounds of main event? I think it should be 5 rounds, but I thought it was a 5-round co-main event. What's the?
No. That's a false report.
That's what I saw on Twitter. Someone said that. It's fake news.
Yeah, that's definitely not a co-main event. I know they're looking forward to make it a 5-round main event, but it's not confirmed yet. So
right.
It's not a done deal.
Right. Okay, that's a little bizarre. Masvidal really missed the opportunity to hit Pereira with the "Your wife's in my DMs." He did. What's going on with Peruvian featherweight or flyweight Sergio Giglio? Do you know this guy? Sergio Giglio? Do you know who this is?
Wasn't he suspended?
Is he signed with the UFC and got suspended? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I think so. Let me check.
Sergio Giglio, 12-0.
He definitely signed with the UFC.
25 years old. A lot of finishes. He hasn't fought in 4 years. Oh, he's supposed to fight Nadner Armani 4 years ago in the UFC.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he tested positive. Is that what happened?
Yeah, I think so. Let me check for a second.
Double check too. You saw it. I don't see anything. To be honest with you. I mean, is that what happened though?
He definitely got suspended, but for what, I don't know. You got to give me some time to check, dude.
Don't worry. Take a look. Yeah, there's no rush. I completely forgot about this dude, to be honest with you. I mean, he hasn't fought. Okay, so he's 25 now. He's supposed to fight 21 in the UFC. That's kind of crazy. Who's the other fighter in the UFC right now from Peru? It's that guy that I really like. The knee bars. What?
Oh, Puelas.
Yeah, Claudio Puelas. I mean, that guy's incredible. You guys know I love him. Bet on him every fight by submission. It's amazing. Take the knee bar submission. He's so good. Yeah, I don't know what happened to this dude. It's a good question though, 8 Loco. I honestly have no idea what happened to this guy. It's crazy you remember this dude because I'm like, who is this guy now? Like, kind of crazy.
I can't find anything, dude. But I know
that's what I'm saying. I don't see anything either. It's kind of weird, right? Like, I'm surprised by this. I'm very surprised by that. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on with this guy. He is on the UFC website though, Marcel. They do have it says former fighter though on the UFC website. So I got one question for you, Marcel. Here's the time where I can ask a question.
Yeah, just one. No, just kidding.
The UFC Road to the Octagon thing, are those like live events or is it taped and like we don't watch it? Like, is it to watch on you have any idea? Like,
I have no idea. I just saw the cards.
Yeah, I saw them today too.
I did hear the winners of the final get a contract, and also they can also contract the runner-up.
Okay.
So I don't know exactly.
There's 4 fights taking place. June 9th and June 10th. There's two events each day. But again, I don't know if they'll be televised. I have no idea if they'll be on Fight Pass. I don't know.
I also don't know if it's like 3 5-minute rounds, because it's a tournament, right?
Maybe 2 5-minute rounds instead, like a fighter. It might not be a professional fight then. Is that what you're saying?
It's really like it always annoys me, dude. The UFC has like 10 different social media pages in different countries. Listen, man, if something happens in Singapore, why do they think we in Europe or you in the US don't care about it? You know what I mean? Just put it out on all your social media so people understand what's happening.
No, I agree completely. I don't know. Any other... Let me get these questions here before we get out of here. Boudin Lucas is lazy matchmaking. Yeah, kind of. Hey, John, what's up, man? We just talked about that fight. I like Saul Huber too, dude. I mean, now he's training full-time after he's graduated college. Yeah, he should win that fight. Will UFC find a fighter or two from France for the Paris card? It seems like it. Yeah, Taylor Lapalus could come back, right? Would you think he would?
They should sign Taylor Lapalus, and they should sign the winner of Abduragimov against Carl Amasu.
Yeah, Carl Amasu. Wow, man, that's a blast from the past. I mean, that guy, like former Bellator guy, I remember him a lot back in the day, Marcel.
And they should try to get Parnas as well from KSW, but I don't know what his contract is like.
I'm just taking a look at the last Eris card because that's like the Fernandez Lopez's card.
Yeah.
Oh, Lariano Staropoli fought in that card. He won a fight.
Yeah, true.
Okay, good for him. There's a couple guys. There's really nothing like that stands out. Like there's one guy here, Samir Fadin. Is he any good? 14.
I think he was at Cage Warriors once.
Yeah, 14-8 record too. I don't think they can sign this guy. I don't think so.
You have Morgan Charrière on Cage Warriors, but he lost his last 2, I think.
Right.
But he's dude. If they sign him, they will get a lot of people in the of French watchers in the UFC. That dude has like over 1 million followers on Instagram, I think.
Bro, why is Taylor Lapalus? Why is he not on the UFC? I mean, he has some
because
good wins.
UFC sucks.
He knocked out Nate Maness. That's a great win. He has a win over Josh Hill, Wilson Hayes. He should be in the UFC, Marcel.
Yeah, man, they count him after a win. I think winning in Hamburg against Leandro Silva.
Yeah, I don't think it was a great fight, but I mean, I'm surprised because he went 3-1 and got cut. And the one guy he lost to, Eric Perez, is another guy that I think got cut after a win, right?
Yeah.
Weird when they do that. I don't understand when they. I mean, there's certain points like remember Vanessa Mello and Sarah Morris. I understood that was such a bad fight. Like you're gonna cut both fighters, but like I don't know. Eric Perez never made sense. Like remember they were building him up so much more so, like to be like the Mexico's next like big thing, and then they cut him.
Remember they cut Gerald Harris.
Yeah, Gerald Harris is a good dude. I really like Gerald a lot. What's up, man? Locker room. I know it's so early, man. We're just doing it for a little bit more. We've got 5 more minutes left at max. Thoughts on Blades Aspinall? Kind of surprised Aspinall's an underdog. I think it makes sense, man. Honestly, Blades is so good, dude. Yeah, I think it makes sense, honestly. Like, Aspinall could win that fight. I think it's a really hard fight for Tom. I think they should have did Tom versus Ty, and then Aspinall, Tom Aspinall versus Ty Visa, and Cyril Gahn versus Curtis Blades. What do you think, Marcel?
Yeah, man. Listen, Adam, I'm high on Tom Aspinall, but I think it's right that Curtis Blades is the favorite, man.
He should be favored, 100%, because, like, look what he's done in the UFC. His body work is incredible. Aris FC, Eagle FC. You know, Eagle FC, I think the names are big, but a lot of mismatches, man, from what I've seen, Marcel. A lot of the dominance guys getting really easy fights.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. A lot of favorable matches for the dominance guys. Yeah.
Yep. And the update on Marcin. Yeah, I know. Like, he was supposed to fight Jairzinho. He got pulled from that fight, I think, the day of the weigh-ins or something, right? He got sick, or the fight day, I believe. And they just scrapped the fight. Now, obviously, Rosenstrike's fighting Volkov, so no idea. He was supposed to fight he wasn't supposed to fight. He was the backup fighter in London as well. So he's still top 10, I believe, or top 15. Anyways, I don't know, Marcel, are you good? Like, anything else you want to talk about, or you want to get out of here now?
Let's get out, dude.
Yeah, let's get out of here, guys. Really appreciate you guys joining us for the early bird edition of the MMAOB Daily Podcast. Won't be doing these too often. It might happen again in a couple weeks, though, when I'm going on my trip. So I might have to do another early one. I'm going to get these last couple questions, Marcel, and we'll get out of here. John saying Fader's nephew on Twitter put together a fun Eagle FC Bellator. Who's his nephew?
It's just an account, Fader's nephew.
Okay. Hey, Antoine, what's up, man? How's it going, buddy? Good morning, guys. You guys think UFC 276 card a year? Also, I'm thinking UFC 277 is getting unnecessary hate. I don't know if you were here at the beginning of the show. Antoine, if you want, go scroll back to the beginning. We talked all about UFC 277, went through the whole card. I think it's a decent card. Obviously, the headliner is getting a lot of hate. 276, though, man, I'm not going to lie, is such a good card. I was looking at it this morning, Marcel. I agree with you, Antoine. I was actually looking at the card this morning. I'm like thinking to myself, July 2nd cannot come soon enough. This card is sick. Great card. So great question, man. Keep up the great work, man. He's another guy in James's Discord with all the Patreons, Marcel. So he's a good dude there. No worries, Odd Smoker. I think Tubisa deserves a fight with number contender, a little more than Blades. Yeah, maybe. Goat show. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate all you guys. I mean, thanks for tuning in today. Marcel, plug yourself. Let's get out of here, man.
Big Marcel 24 on Twitter and Instagram, and Eurosport.nl mixed martial arts section.
Appreciate it, Marcel, for bearing with me this week with the time change and everything. You guys can follow me on Twitter at MMAOB podcast, MMAOB.com, YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, all those places. No show tomorrow, guys. No show tonight, obviously, as well. The next show we'll do is next Monday, which would be May 30th at 5 p.m. Eastern. We'll be doing probably like another recap show, Marcel, of like what happened during the weekend. And then next Tuesday, we'll do the next breakdown for Rosenstrike Volkov. In the meantime, guys, follow my work, MiamiNews.com, Bookies.com, and MMAOsburger.com. Have a great week, everyone. I'll be back with Marcel next Monday. And Antoine, appreciate that as well, man. Have a great week, guys. Peace.